All right, man. All right, we are here. Another episode of Perspectives Facts Podcast with a special episode is the Alpha Villain Perspective. Salute to Alpha Villain being in the building. If you want to hit the round of applause for yourself, go ahead hit the round of applause because
Yeah. I appreciate you, FBJ. Yeah, you can call me AV, man. You know what I'm saying? That shit.
AV.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
that's a bet because on some real, like I told you earlier, I'm a real supporter of your platform. I like
Thank you,
watching it,
man.
especially when it comes on my Instagram feeds. You call on Starport. Like a
Absolutely.
lot of connections that I made online have kind of been through Starport, us watching other people, listen and paying attention.
Right.
And to do a collab episode to talk about these type of topics that I don't feel like my audience has really got on a high level. Now, when we're just talking shooting shit, yeah, but on the level that I know you can provide, I think it's going to be a real benefit, especially on a Friday, especially with
Word.
the whole Keke Palmer fallout. I think
Mm.
real men, real alpha men need to get together and build
Yeah.
in this time of distress in the
Facts.
in the in the male hemisphere. So go ahead, Alpha Villain, talk about, how you came in the game and how you felt like your calling was to lead us out of internal damnation into prosperity with this red pill game.
Word, man. Well, first things first, FBJ. I appreciate you for having me on. Thank you so much. I discovered you on the Star Report. Salute to the Star Report. You know what I mean? Star, I've had some consultations. He's really helped me turn my channel around. He gave me some really good tips. And for those of you guys who listen to the Star Report, man, Star is that nigga for real, man. He's the nigga on camera and off camera. So he really dropped a lot of gems for me. So it's an honor to be here with you, man. But the way I stumbled on this I guess this manosphere red pill shit at BJ. I to be honest with you, I don't know how. I've always been decent with bitches. So I wasn't really looking for content to kind of say, yo, how what do I do when a woman cheats on me, shit like that. But I discovered the
Right.
platform. There was a rabbit hole from Steve the Dean Williams. I heard Steve the Dean Williams was
Steve.
doing a show. Yeah, Steve the Dean Williams. Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
on the Star Report too. And a lot of these niggas were talking about women, and I'm like, yo, this is pretty cool because I didn't grow up with my dad, so I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. The things, the lessons that I was hearing is shit that I needed to hear back in the day. But I
Yeah.
had to learn it through trial and error, messing around with women, putting women on a pedestal, doing simple shit. But because I was decent with women, FBJ, I didn't think that I had there was there was a problem. You know, what I mean, women changed. Long story short, man, I started doing t-shirts that were red pill inspired. I reached out to a couple of content creators, told them that I wanted them to wear my merch because I was a big supporter of theirs. Some of them wore my merchandise, Afi Kingdom, Everett Overton, Modern Life Dating, a couple of big content creators in the space. And then you know what I mean, they gave me a shot to get on the microphone, bro. And then I started just talking my shit. But because I was decent with women and I didn't know how far niggas were really lost about women and dating, that's what the rabbit hole really kind of led me to say, okay, you know what? Let me just share some stories and my perspective on how this shit should be because I'm an older dude, 50 years old. And the rest is history, man. People are gravitating towards it because I don't necessarily pick a side, FBJ. I'm not a dating coach. I'm not a relationship coach. I'm just a nigga that's considers himself to be real. And I think masculinity is a endangered species, bro, and we're endangered. And because I'm an older man, a man of a certain age, man, I feel like let me get this message out there, put it in the air, and whoever can benefit from it can, and whoever can't, could just change the channel, bro. So that's where I'm at. Yo, think we lost you.
Oh yeah, no, it was like my Wi-Fi, so I had to
You
hop
good?
back.
You good? You good?
Yeah. But no, I was listening to you because I got you on I had you on my YouTube and my speaker, so I was hearing everything you were saying when I
All
shut
good.
down with you on the conversation.
All
And
good.
just you're basically saying like how you had a couple people wear your shirts, couple, influence.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Right.
it's a good thing, man. You know what I mean? Look, we need guidance. You know what I'm saying? Like men, all types of men, we need guidance. We've been lied to. We've been raised by single mothers and shit. You know, feminism. We talk about that a lot. So I think it's pretty cool that men can get on the microphone and kind of just share stories and things that work and don't work. But the problem is that there's so much information out there, FVJ. We don't know what's right and what's wrong. Niggas will tell you to do this, and then you look like a simp. Niggas tell you to do that. You can't find a bitch. Don't get us with a single mom. Don't do. So it's like there's a lot of information that's out there, and how do we choose? How do we choose what's right and what's wrong? And a lot of niggas would rather watch it on YouTube or listen to it, FBJ, than actually go outside and try to like talk to a broad. You know what I'm saying? And the information makes women seem to be like monsters, bro. Niggas are scared of women and that's what's causing them to be lost. You know what I'm saying? And frustrated.
Nah, and I totally agree. But I think it too when it comes to like this dating world, right? Like the game that we in. A lot of it to me is just like when you want to talk about business, right? Or you want to go to get a business degree. When it comes to business, when it comes to science, and when it comes to women, these are three ever-changing things. These are always things that are always evolving over time. So you can't give me a business book in 1983 unless you're telling me how to open up an LLC and do certain ethical things that are still legalized today. You're not telling me how to run a business outside of, saying I want to run a business, right? You can't tell me about a science book from 1995 when half of that shit is rewritten. Like you can't tell me how to talk to a woman like you did, Dad, in 1985. Actually had a dance floor in the club versus now the dance floor is filled with VIP sections. If I don't have $1,200 and 12 bitches to fill this motherfucker up, I'm not gonna pull the baddest bitch in the club. I can't grab the ugly girl and dance to Computer Love, and that's gonna show all the other girls I'm not cocky, so I can pull them at the next slow dance.
You know what I'm saying? You spitting facts.
So a lot of the times it's game, like how it's game that needs to be passed down, is game that needs to be passed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's crazy you say that. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Because I was there at BJ. I was there when the club, it was cool to dance. I was there when a nigga would go to the club and dance with the fat broad to impress the broad that he really wanted. You know what I'm saying? But now, like you said, you got to be about it. If you ain't get the bottle, you ain't in the VIP section, bitches are rolling their eyes at you. So how am I, a 50-year-old man or a nigga that's in a relationship, telling you young whippersnappers, not you per se, but just niggas in general that were born into this shit, that didn't go to the prom and didn't have the dance and shit and put the corsage on the bitch? How is that game applicable to today? Some of it is, don't get it twisted. We still have some shit that you can apply to today, but this is where the younger generation needs to apply their thinking, put their thinking caps on. A lot of you niggas want to listen to shit as opposed to doing it. So just because it worked for me on FBJ doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Then you want to get mad at FBJ and me for telling you how to talk to a bitch that we never even seen before. You feel me?
On top of fact, and I think one thing that a lot of the younger cats need to understand and develop is their sense of manhood and confidence. Like when I see a lot of young women say, oh, the older guys are thirsty, they're more aggressive. It's like, no, because back in the day, you can actually speak to women. You can actually try to talk to a girl for a couple days, for a couple months. Use like a lot of the mom, grandma stories of how did grandpa pull you. Oh, he used to, try to ask me out for like 3 weeks. I finally took him out. Now you ask a girl 3 times, she filing the HR case on you. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the way to approach a woman has been rewritten in real time. But one thing that women appreciate back then was an assertive man. One thing that women appreciate now is the aesthetic of an assertive man.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? The aesthetic is the VIP, the chains, the IG. Women want you to compete with them the same way they compete with us, and it don't work. I can't out Instagram you, bitch. I can't. But you forcing me to compete in a lane that I can't win in, and only you can be glorified for the things that will attract the opposite sex. I can't post me on 5 dates with 5 bad bitches this week, but and still keep hoes. But you can post you out in 5 different VIP sections, and that's gonna up the niggas in your DMs times 5.
Facts.
That's why girls be like, when you get with them, yo, let's post a picture. That's a trap. You know why? Because me and this girl, we start dating, we post a picture, I'm losing all my hoes.
Facts. And she's showing the niggas that waiting on standby for her goofy ass.
You post me, all you doing is driving niggas in your DMs and showing my competition what level they have to attain to or better to pull you. Because always a flyer nigga like it's always a flyer bitch. But the difference is the flyer bitch looking at us and my bitch like, oh, I'm finer than her. Your value just sunk. A nigga looking at me and my bitch like, oh, I'm flyer than him. It's easier to pull you.
Facts, my nigga. So what do we do, FBJ? What do we tell these niggas? What do we tell them to do? It sounds how what we saying and we speak in fact, but niggas still want pussy. Niggas still get, you know what I mean? We like women, the fat ass titties and shit. What do we do?
This is what we do. What we do. Because when we break everything down that we just talked about for the last 3-4 minutes, the fork in the road moments is when incels get this information. Right. They think it's red pill and they start spewing anti-women rhetoric.
Right.
When get this information, it's like somebody teaching us martial arts. I can't go around here kicking niggas' asses now just because I got a black belt. I gotta act like I don't know how to fight. I gotta draw motherfuckers in, and if I have to defend myself with this knowledge, then I will. But for the most part, what's martial arts teaching you? How to better yourself.
Discipline.
So discipline. So you take this information we just gave out, and instead of you trying to spew it out to the world and give niggas drop kicks and wheel kicks, you take it home and you start working on your business. That's where the perspective, that's where your passion, your purpose over pussy comes in at. And that's where I want you to break that down, because what we just led into breaks down the passion over pussy.
Facts, that's the road moment. Yeah, man. You know, the fork in the road moment for me, yeah, so many. I mean, Jesus Christ, but I guess one that's pertinent to peace over pussy or purpose over pussy, man. You know what I mean? Like just doing everything right. I mean, like I said, when I was in, before I started the show, you know, I was always decent with bitches, you know what I mean? Light-skinned nigga, ball, you know what I mean? Physique, all that shit, the superficial shit. But I always had bitches because I was an older nigga, and all you needed was a little bit of game and be handsome, and you could pull bitches, fine. But what happened was I was always good with women. I like a variety of women, etc. But there was one or a couple of women that I really cared for. And I said, you know what? Let me just try to do something different. Let me just try to focus, put all my eggs in one basket. Let me try to be what my mother taught me to be, a gentleman. Let me try to be like these niggas that on movies and shit like that. You know, then just doing everything right, which I thought. And it didn't work, FBJ. Sometimes I tell my guys all the time, sometimes doing your best, being on your purpose, being the best version of yourself still ain't going to be good enough. And one of the forks in my road was that I love this bitch. And despite doing everything right, she still decided that it wasn't enough. Bitches are never happy. So when I started to get, you know what I mean, when I started to heal and deal with that, I realized the only person that I can't let down is myself. So what do? You focus on your grind. You discover, you kind of dive deep into your soul, man. You know what I'm saying? You look in the mirror. You don't like what you like. You get better. So that's what led it to me. You know, disappointment. People disappointing you. Your family and friends not supporting you. FBJ. Bitches that you thought that were with you because they loved you ain't with you because now you got your business is slowing down or you lost your job. They can't hold you down. People gonna let you down. So for me, the only person that can't let me down is myself. So I decided to put my purpose first. First, you got to define what that is, man. A nigga driving a Lamborghini may not be your purpose. A nigga got in a six-pack may not be your purpose, but they teach you niggas to get bust-down watches, change Lamborghinis, and fucking, you know, do testosterone shit to be happy. I know a lot of niggas that are like that, and they still not happy. So I always tell my guys to focus on your purpose, but you got to define what your purpose is. Your mom ain't going to tell you what your purpose is. The wife, your kids ain't gonna tell you what your purpose is, bro. You have to find something that's gonna fulfill you. And then once it fulfills you, your cup's gonna run it over. And then you could share and be a good father, a good partner, a good business partner. But if you're not together yourself, my G's, and you putting pussy on a pedestal, knowing that a woman's always looking for a nigga that's bigger, better looking than you setting yourself up to fail, man. I did that a couple of times. And if we can throw this in the air, FBJ, to a younger nigga, even some old niggas, and say, yo, it's never too late, but you got to put yourself first and don't let anybody shame you for wanting to do that.
That's a fact. And even what you're saying is crazy as a man when you have to understand that. And just like your name, Alpha Villain, like I be telling my homies all the time, like once you understand that you're a villain, and especially as if you are a black man,
facts,
you have to wake up and understand you are society's villain.
Yep.
And put that black hat on and bask in that, and it's not doing your best at being bad. It's doing your best at being selfish about you, because the most selfless thing is to be selfish about yourself. Because just like you said, when my cup runneth over, niggas is just eating off of being
default,
off of default,
right?
Off of being this close. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Off of proximity.
Right.
And that's, you want your shit to permeate. You want your shit, you want to infect people with your message, with your mood, with your energy. And the best you is going to bring out the best person in everybody else. They understand they can't be around you if they don't elevate themselves.
Right.
But sometimes as an alpha, when you galvanize the men around you because they're seeing you as an example, certain women start to shy away. Because they say they want an alpha, they say they want a man on his purpose, a man who holds himself accountable in the ones around him. But if a woman isn't in her authentic self, even though she may have the look, she doesn't want you to self-audit her. because she
Right.
wants to come off as that aesthetic because, like we said before, they are coming in the dating world on an aesthetic look.
Right.
They're not coming in on a substance. That's what we come in at.
Sure.
But when you're a real man, when you know what I'm saying, inside and out, they don't really want you to get too close to them. They want you to deep dive and figure out, oh, you're not this, and that. Oh, you're just like an IG baddie. Oh, it's just
right.
camera tricks.
Right.
And then sometimes you like, okay, it's cool. I may have enough pull to get you where you want to be. But then you got to understand, it's just like a lot of people, they just do things for a look, or they just do things to sit themselves in a good enough position where anybody who's below them don't see like the Wizard of Oz, and nigga behind pulling the string.
Behind that curtain, it's crazy.
Behind that curtain. A lot of women don't want you behind that curtain if they're not their authentic self. Regardless if you already accept that as a man, because you have enough to provide to where I don't need you to overextend yourself in who you are yet, because you're not that completely.
Bro, you dropping gems, guys. Man, you dropping some fucking heat, man. Listen, you said a lot of things, man. Very important things, as a black man, melanated man, brown man, etc. A man in general is a villain, especially nowadays with feminism, etc. But we're talking about black men. You're a man with dreads. I'm a man with tattoos, bald. Your confidence, right? Because we had to develop it. Nobody's going to tell you you're the best. Nobody's going to tell you that you're the most desired. But everybody, all the other races are listening and are exploiting your culture, your music, right? So how can you not feel empowered to know that? That's number one. There's a large group of melanated men who embarrass guys who have integrity, who don't want to necessarily participate in the nigga shit. They just want to be a nigga that wants better for himself. You talked about comfort. When you're authentic, you're a villain. You've accepted the fact that you're a man, and anytime you display any alpha qualities or masculinity, especially today, you're going to be considered a bad guy. Women want to feel safe, and in order for you to get a woman to comply, you got to make her feel safe, but then you got to choose. You got to choose to be viewed as a villain, as a man, or you got to be one to be liked. And in order for you to be liked, you got to be feminine. You got to paint your fucking nails. You got to do a lot of goofy shit. You got to be a simp. You got to be like,
you got to dick ride other niggas. Call you got to dick Lord and big bros.
Oh, that's yo. Don't get me started on that shit. You got to kiss niggas' ass. The only time you on the radar of a content creator, if you kissing his ass, then you're going to wind up being like Adam 22, letting a nigga bang his wife out. You're going to be like Keke Palmer's baby daddy, just emotionally going on Twitter as opposed to calling his bitch and telling her, yo, that shit is out of pocket. So you got to choose, fellas. What do you want? Now, let's not get it twisted, FBJ. I just said this earlier. Being a villain or being alpha is cool, but you're not going to have as many friends. Your family ain't going to support you because they're going to be like, what's wrong with you? Bitches ain't going to come to you.
Resent you.
Right. And like you said, women don't want you to look at them for what they are. A lot of times when a woman says, you're judging me, AV, that's because the bitch knows I see her for what she is. And that's the problem. So a simp is going to tell her whatever she wants to hear. But when she tries to run that game towards me or FBJ, the bitch is out of there. So at the end of the day, fellas, you guys got to make choices in life, man. Don't let society or women make choices for you, because then then you wind up checking yourselves out because you can't handle it.
And with that said, too, like, why do you think it's important? Because, we talked about, Keke Palmer's baby daddy, and how in his situation, and we've seen the whole conversation of with a new term has been invented this week. I don't know if you heard it. It's called a bread loser.
No, I never heard of that one.
Yeah, because you got breadwinners in relationships.
Right.
I got to be a bread loser. So apparently he's the inaugural bread loser, because he's not making the money. So, and it's funny how women say, hypergamy doesn't exist. Societal structure, once they want to break it down and decompose it. But when this situation comes on, oh, Keke Palmer got 12 jobs. What the fuck did this nigga do? Oh, she bought him a drink. It went down from the start. Oh, he at home being a house husband. That don't matter. He at home take care of the kids. He a bum. This is that. He should shut up because she's providing the bills. Okay, so pretty much what you just told a bunch of niggas is that not only can we not do 50-50, you can't control shit if you're the breadwinner. If I don't control 100% of the resources and the finances of my own situation before I get into one with you, I can never have a voice when you openly disrespect me.
Facts, my nigga. Yo, I just did a show about this earlier on my YouTube channel, guys. When you're done with this show, make sure you guys check out my YouTube channel at Alpha Villains. I talked about that women decide to settle for weaker men, and like FPJ said, is very important. The bread loser. Now, you see, again, niggas can't get mad because that's what you did. It's like a nigga getting mad at his woman for being a stripper. You fell in love with the bitch, and now she's going back to work because you can't hold it down. And now you mad at the bitch. See what I'm saying? So it's all in the man, FBJ. So at the end of the day, if you want to be a bread loser, you gotta accept what comes with that. If you want to get married, you gotta accept what comes with that. You can't get mad at the bitch or the laws if you decided to say I do. You can't get mad at a single mom because you decided to be with a single mom and you can't discipline her badass children. It all's about accountability. See, FBJ, a lot of guys talk about women ain't accountable. And I don't think men are accountable either. Everybody just wants to point the finger. And I think that's the first step in wanting to become better. We're talking about purpose over pussy, man. If you can't point the finger at yourself and hold yourself accountable and say, yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, I was a dick. I wasn't man enough. I wasn't holding it down and the bitch left you. And you ain't never going to improve because you're always going to look for somebody to blame as opposed to blaming yourself. So.
Nah, and it's important for a man, especially, you know, when you're coming out trying to get established, that you have your own and you get your own. Because personally, like we said before, this isn't 10, 15, 20 years ago. This isn't like, you're not looking at somebody like, okay, we're going to actually, you know, I can hold it down. We can build up and prosper together. That's not how
good old days, man. I miss those days, man.
You can't get a girl when she's 19, 20 and she gonna be with you till y'all grown. Like, it don't work like that anymore, bro. Like, it's a phase and it's probably been like that, but it's a phase in people's lives and men and women's lives where you have to grow and experience life. And the way that the internet works, when we were younger, 50 years ago, we only knew our neighborhood. Nobody was traveling, nobody was going across the world, like seeing how big the world actually was.
Right.
The beautiful 10 in your neighborhood girl, somebody in the neighborhood was going to cuff her. That 10 now is gone international. That 10 now,
that bitch is in Dubai. Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Ruby Roses, like, you know, when they say she's on Twitter and everybody on Twitter is like, oh, there's a Ruby Rose in Alabama. There's a Ruby Rose in Florida. There's Ruby Rose in Mississippi.
Goofy.
They're not lying. They are.
Yeah.
But the Ruby Roses of the day are Ruby Rose. They're with every rapper. Once a bad chick realizes she's bad, she's out of here. But what I'm saying is not even her. It's even niggas. It's us in society. It's people. We see the world bigger than what it is now. We can see better options just by the swipe of our phone. We have apps. So the option to stand with somebody and grind it out, everybody runs from it. Women run from that, relationships, and men run from that in parenthood. It's like people like the idea of being in relationships. You like the idea of being parents until like the time comes where the grind is a slower grind. It's 14, 15 years into that, or it's 14, 15 months. Just Keke Palmer situation. You get with a girl, you get her pregnant, the 9 months goes, she has a baby, you deal with the postpartum, her body changes, then she changes, she might get better, but you've been dealing with this situation change for a good 2 years, right? The kid might be 1 yet, if that, and y'all might not make it. Or she may be stepping out and now you're having issues. It's a long game. And with that said, going back to the point with having your own as a man, you need to be able to have the resources and the stability to weather those types of storms financially, emotionally, where at the end of the day, you know that regardless if she leaves or stays or whatever she's contributing to the funds or the household or resources, if that all stops and she can't do shit,
right,
I can still hold it down.
Big facts, man. You know, you said so many important things, man. And you know, it's crazy because the guys on the internet, they're quick to call a woman a gold digger. Oh, she gonna take you for half, don't get married, or she gonna want you to take out the expensive restaurants and shit. Women want providers. They talk about hypergamy. But nigga, you can't even take care of yourself. So before you decide to put the cart before the horse, you got to be able to take care of yourself and have your own. FBJ said it, very important. Especially as a black man, you need to try to establish something on your own. In the event that somebody decides that your skill sets are no longer applicable, AI's taking over all the jobs. White man can fire your goofy ass at the drop of a dime. They're downsizing, etc. People are losing their jobs. So a lot of times, again, society, I don't really want to take it here, but the bottom line is, you know, there's a psychological hold on most people and thinking that they're not as good as they think they are. And I think it's important for men, especially, to try to focus on their gifts, discover a side hustle, a couple of side hustles. Here's the problem with trying to get your own FBJ, because we ain't, you know what I mean? Some of us are, average guys. We got to get it from the mud. The problem with that shit is in your purpose and shit. You ain't going to have time for bitches. Newsflash, niggas. You ain't going to have time for bitches, bro. You in your 20s, your hormones are crazy. The baddies and shit. All your friends are partying with the drug dealers. All the bitches you love are with drug dealers, scammers, living off that PPP loan. You got to choose now. You got to choose delayed gratification, or you going to try to save these hoes? What's your choice? So you got to have your own. So for anybody in their 20s, teenagers, even their 30s, shit, 50s, you got to reset back to factory settings, man. You got to prioritize what is important. Peace. That's number one. Peace over pussy. You got to get your finances in order. You got to develop your credit. They're not teaching you this. They're not teaching you this. So in order for you to have your own, you got to get your credit right. You got to get your mind right. And you have to decide and put the hoes to the side. Now, if you're fortunate and you got a couple of good hoes, lifers and shit that going to hold you down, that's one thing. But most of you niggas can't deal with a rotation. Having your own is important because at the end of the day, like FBJ said, women change their mind at the drop of a dime, depending on the horoscope. At least you have your own. You could at least take care of yourself so that way you can regroup and spend and deal with the woman who's worthy of having, your company. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to trying to impress a bitch that don't even know if she likes you or not.
Because that's the point, especially with the whole having your own. It is getting to a point, and it's always a point in a man's life where you have to be alone and you have to really grind and hone in on what you want. You have to write it out if you need to agree. And you don't need much. And when I say much,
right,
whatever respective state you live in, right? Like, your economy.
Sure.
Just get a spot. You don't have to have the best spot. Get what you can afford. Have a car you can afford. It's not about having the best of anything. It's about having what you need as a man. The empowerment of seeking, I'm not living with my people. I'm not living with my bitch. As a man, I just feel like you need to have that moment in your life.
Sure.
In this modern time. Back in the day, like I said, you can move out your mom's house with your girl. You can do that now and you can still live prosperous and it's good. There's nothing wrong. I promise you. That's how society should work. But in this day and time, just like business, just like science, just like bitches, right?
Right.
It evolves. And as a man, you have to be able to go in the wilderness alone and come out with the wolf fur skin and 5 bear heads, you know what I'm saying? And sheep pants.
Yeah, you got to evolve with the time. That's what FBJ saying. You got to evolve with the time. You can't be stubborn. You can't be stuck on how it used to be. You complaining you don't like AI, you don't like Chat GPT, you don't like technology. Technology doesn't give a fuck about what you like or don't like, my nigga. If you're not moving with the times, then you're going to be left out and you're going to date yourself. So at the end of the day, like FBJ said, you don't need a lot to feel like a man. Now, there's levels to this shit. If you want to live in the box for the rest of your life, that's cool too. You define what success and high value means. Don't let a nigga tell you a car that's a Lamborghini is a high value. Sure, it is to certain people, but do you want the bitches that are looking at niggas who drive Lamborghinis? They've been damn near ran through everybody from Miami. So at the end of the day, levels. Get some independence. Have some time to yourself so you can reflect, decide how you want to move in life. Then you can level up. But at the end of the day, if you want to have at least some type of leverage in the dating scene, because Becky from Wyoming is in Dubai, Dorothy from Kansas is in fucking Africa taking pictures and shit, and you still behind your phone looking at dumb shit, Pornhub. In order for you to leverage yourself, you have to have some type of independence and you have to have a good mouthpiece on you and your mindset. So at least you can have some type of access to the women, even if they don't deserve it, man, because the system is designed to make women feel like they're more important than they really are. And we really know what the real deal is.
Yeah, and real shit too. And even when you have your own, you got to understand like the leverage you're talking about. You want to just, have something to fall back on. You want to have, okay, you want to pull up, we're going to hang out, we're going to chill, or the homies want to come over. Like you want to have that type of, sanctuary for yourself that you can, like invite people to, or if you want to have, somebody over and host.
Sure.
And have your own environment. And
I saw the spread. You niggas had the lobsters and shit like that. I saw
hey,
that shit.
You know what I'm saying? But that's type shit. And that's really just, a celebration for my niggas and all, but not even just even going on that, but just to the principle of when you are in your own peace, so you could wake up, and Star says it all the time when he's like, I can leave, I can eat half of a sandwich and leave it
Leave
on
it
the
right
counter and
there.
wake up in the morning and it's
Right.
still there. Like
Right.
having
Salute to
that
Star. Yeah.
star, man. So even keeping everything rolling. Oh, one of the last questions too is why do women prefer to be lied to, even though they ask for the truth? Because the way I see it is the same way on First 48 when they're sitting in the interrogation room and the officer's like, "Yo, just tell me the truth, Johnny. Just tell me the truth, and we were trying to help you. It will all be over." And it's like they're trying to convince you to give yourself up because like you want the truth, and do you have enough leverage to tell the truth? Number one, and then number two, is the truth ready for everybody?
Very important. That's a great question, man. I think women want men to tell them the truth to justify their bad behavior, right? So women are always looking or keeping one eye open, right? I guess that's hypergamy. They're always looking for a bigger, better deal. And when a woman tends to listen to the wrong things, her toxic friends, her single mothers, society, etc., she tends to develop some type of intuition she thinks is fucking the gospel. So she's listening to everybody else but her fucking man. She's overlooking some of the important things, and she's looking at the man's behavior to see, to kind of muster up the fact that he might be doing something. So for instance, if you're on your grind and on your purpose and a bitch, you ain't got time to respond to the bitch all the time, etc., and shit, she's gonna concoct a story to make you tell her of what she's doing, of what you're doing rather. So at the end of the day, women want you to tell them the truth so they can say, aha, I got them. Women always want to be right. That's why we always say women are wrong and strong all the time. I always say women are passionately ignorant because they take pride in discovering something. This is why most women are big detectives. They really take pride in the fact that they found out all this information about you that they weren't privy or ready to know about. So when you talk about the truth, bitches want the truth, but most of them can't handle the truth. When a bitch says, "Oh, tell me the truth," it's a trap. It's a trap because she's gonna hold it against you, or she's not gonna feel bad for the shit that she was doing prior to you coming to see her. Especially during the dating phase, bro. The dating phase, bitches are talking to mad niggas. So the truth is relative. Back in the day, you know what I mean? Nowadays, you guys can tell people, women, everything and shit because it's a new day and time. But back in the day, we had to lie to bitches. We had to have side bitches. Now niggas want to promote polygyny, polygamy, rotations, and shit like that. At the end of the day, women want to hear the truth that they made up in their head, not necessarily the truth that's actually occurring. So you got to be real careful with that, man. You know what I mean? And a smart bitch knows women study patterns. So a lot of times the smart, mature women aren't going to ask you to tell them the truth because they're probably going to already know. They're probably going to already know that there's a change in your patterns. You're doing things differently. You're moving differently. And this is why niggas fail, because niggas aren't consistent. The bitch fell in love with you for a certain lifestyle that you were living, your routine. Now you've gotten comfortable. Now your routine is starting to change, but now you want to go back to the routine that she fell in love with. Now that's going to be a problem. So at the end of the day, I know it was a long, drawn out answer.
Oh no, it was a
The
yeah.
truth is always going to be something that's going to allow a woman to decide what she's going to do with you. If you tell a woman the truth of something that she suspected, she's going to categorize you now. And then she's going to say, okay, this is a guy that I can't be with for long term. I'm just going to use him for the Christmas or what have you. So you got to be real careful with that. I think men have to be as congruent as possible. Niggas on the microphone, are you the same off and off camera? Are you the same in front of your niggas? Are you the same in front of a bitch? Congruency is all the truth that you need, but a lot of women don't see that.
That's fact. That's a fact, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
niggas don't know. Niggas move different, Brand. I mean, you're a content creator, Jay. You know what I mean? FPJ. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you see the goofy shit. You see how niggas are like, I'm like, yo. And I thought, you know what I'm saying? Like the street shit, whether you're familiar with street shit or not, there's a lot of goons out here. There's no love in the streets. There's no love on this content creator shit too. You could collaborate with somebody, nigga will dox you, do some dumb shit. So they're not congruent. So it's like, if you're not congruent, you probably a fake ass nigga. So if you try to impress a bitch, leave with your wallet, take her off to a really nice restaurant, and then the dates start to taper down as far as experiences are concerned, she gonna see that you're maybe a liar, you're a fraud.
Exactly.
You feel
Exactly.
me? It's all in how you move, fellas.
That's facts. And that's another thing, you with a content creator like ourselves, like on camera content creators, especially, like I try to, I'm in transparent as possible. You know what I'm saying? That's why, hey, we see, how we shoot the pod, like
Shit
I
is
said,
real. Word.
the parties. You know what I'm saying? You can, find my IG, the Twitter. Is like, I'm accessible. Niggas can see me. So it's like, you want to make it, like you said, congruent as possible. Like, hey, listen, like this shit on and off camera. You know what I'm saying? Like I want, it's both things. A lot of people do content, and it may come from a space, or it may come from a person where it's like, we don't believe you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you can't convince me this is, and especially, coming on Star, we know how niggas eat, troll babies and everything.
Word.
Troll babies. But it's like, it forces you to either fold or like be authentic. And when you're authentic, it's kind of like you want to hold back a little bit, because it's like, listen, I don't want to really like give y'all niggas too much, but it shows at the same time when it comes into like the dating world, when it comes to telling people the truth, you can just live it, and it's like you don't have to ask shit. The shit you're asking about is so directly, I don't even want to call it toxic, but it's so it's such like a minuscule, like you're just having thoughts you want to think. It's such a minute, finite thing to us, because we're moving around in life. It's a whole globe. You're trying to pinpoint something that doesn't even matter to make it a whole, like you said, categorization of my character based off of one assumption that may or may not be true.
Right.
And that's where the self-sabotage on the other side comes in over there, where it's like you be missing out on real shit, because you're trying to pinpoint me in a box and make it easy for you to decide shit when things are way more complex than that.
Right. And that's why I always say too, FBJ, like, bitches would rather be right than happy. Women would rather be right than happy. What does that mean? That basically means that she wants to be right about the shit that she made up in her fucking head, as opposed to being right or happy with a nigga that really cares about her, but understands and chooses to understand her versus loving her. That's the shit. Niggas need to understand. Now, I know women don't like to hear this, but a man has to choose. We've been talking about choices all day, FBJ. You got to choose to either love her or understand her. What does that mean? You're doing the dumb shit, the simple shit that we probably did when we was younger. You know what I'm saying? Loving her, oh, am I doing everything right and shit, and it not being enough. But if you understand how women are, you've understand yourself, you've done the work, now she's going to have to make a choice. See, we have to make choices, but the choices that you make will encourage the people that want to be around you to make the choice of you. That's the shit. Now you chilling. If you live a certain way, FBJ is a certain way, he moves a certain way, he has a certain routine, the bitch is going to have to adhere to the fact that he wakes up at 4:30 in the morning to work out. Bitches are going to have to adhere that he does a nightly live IG, so between 10 and 12, she can't fuck with him. She has to work around his schedule. But if you ain't got shit going on, now you starting to conform to the bitch's schedule, watching Netflix, doing goofy shit, you getting fat, she's getting bored of you, and now you want to have some red pill rage and talk about bitches ain't shit.
Man, I might take a shot, and it's not even, is it 12?
Nah.
Man, I mean, I got 20 minutes. See, this type of shit I be talking about. See, this is what niggas need to be here. This is what niggas need to be understanding. Like, real shit. Like, I be telling niggas all the time. Like, me, like, we ripping and running. We making moves.
You know what I mean?
Like, you gotta catch up. You gotta catch up.
Bitch.
You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, if I tap in, like, hey, yo, what you doing tonight? Oh, I'm chilling. Oh, yeah, we doing this, or we hanging out. Like, it ain't. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you what's popping off. If you can't make it, hey, it is
cool.
what it is.
It is what it is.
That's what you're talking about. Where it's like, dude, you gotta have a set schedule. You have to have things that she knows she cannot interrupt or interfere with.
Right.
Times.
Right.
This is my purpose. You know what I'm saying? You see things. This is bigger than you. This was here before you got here, and you'll never be able to replace or usurp what's going on here. And you understand that coming in. So either when you come in, you know you have to be a cog in the ship and not be the ship. Like, you got to come in understanding, like, you are Kobe, but this is the Lakers. You're Favre, but this is the G. Not the four. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Play your fucking position. And that's the shit, FBJ. You see a lot of women say, yo, he's not man enough for me. I'll submit to a masculine man. See, a lot of niggas, just because they got beards and tattoos and shit, don't mean that you're masculine. Just like you just said, you Kobe, you're a LeBron, whatever. You got to give a woman a position. But if you ain't got a position to give a bitch, right, in your routine, that's going to help her flourish. If you don't have a position or a movement or a purpose that's going to benefit anybody, what's the point of her being there? You can't get mad at a bitch for not seeing or not being able to see what you're doing. Most people aren't. So you got to stay on your grind. You cannot deviate from your purpose, man, because at the end of the day, if she's smart, she'll be able to reap the rewards. If she's not, then another woman will be there. Guys, there's more women in need of guidance than there are men who are on their purpose. So if you're on your purpose and you're doing your shit, bro, you're gonna stand out, nigga. Bitches are gonna choose on you, nigga. You ain't gotta do the corny lines. You ain't gotta do all that goofy shit, nigga. Because bitches gonna be like, yo, there's something about this nigga. He moved different. He not with that dumb shit. And then once you open up your mouth and you got your shit together, you give a woman a position to be in your life, man. Shit.
And a lot of times a lot of times we also are going to speak about when you do have that situation, it's just like being a part of the Packers, right? Or being a part of the Spurs, right? Being a part of the Celtics. Because you are an established franchise, there's a lot of star players that might not flourish in your system because they think they're the franchise. We can't just bring over a Kyrie. There's a lot of Kyries out here in the streets that under your system. If they would just, there's a lot of AIs out here in the streets that ain't going to win championships.
Right.
In terms of women, there's a lot of Michael Vicks out here.
Right.
Where Mike Vick, you could do that. You could shuck and jive in Atlanta to the goal line, but we're gonna need you to back up and pass over here in Philly.
Word.
Yeah. And a lot of times as man, when you become the San Antonio Spurs, when you become a established franchise or dynasty, you have your shit, you got your rotation. We do things at this time. We get up at 4 to work out. Egg whites over here. You know what I'm saying? We do this.
Word.
We eat fish on this day. Like this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like I need you to get this done in the house. This is what we need. If you're smart, we're going to go and win a chip. We're going to go and be whatever you need. I'm going to do my job. I'm the slot corner. I'm the best nickel corner in the league. I'm straight. I'll be the Draymond Green. A lot of bitches don't want to be Draymond.
Right.
In a nigga life. I already have my Steph Curry in my Clay in my life. I already have my business, my homies, the businesses I have. Everything's established. You come in, you can be this and you can flourish. You can get a max contract, rings, all that. But you got a lot of bitches trying to come in and be
rearrange shit.
Yeah, be the Aaron Rodgers. You can't take the franchise. This G gonna be here after you're done. You got to retire at some point. It's like athletes.
That's ego.
G gonna be here. You still want to come back and get you want your jersey retired. You want to always be a part of the organization. You might be the GM. We might let you own the bitch like Jordan.
Word. Yo, FBJ, there's niggas that were bench players, man. They got the championship ring, B. Niggas didn't play one game in the season and shit. Them niggas still got to go to the parade, still got the championship ring. You got to play your position. Exactly. And again, we going back to trust. We going back to being a man, having that chip on your shoulder, embracing the villain side, embracing being called arrogant because you earned that arrogance. Nobody know what you had to put through. Nobody knows how they look at you when you got dreads and you tall, you good looking, but you stand up straight. Nobody look at you. They look at you like somebody like you ain't on the microphone, that you ain't changing lives, you ain't dropping gems on niggas, bro. So at the end of the day, if you got a little chip on your shoulder, call it a chip. I call it confidence, earned confidence.
Fact.
But at the end of the day, we're talking about women. Most of us need to save women from themselves. And how do you do that without offending a bitch? You create the franchise. They got to interview or audition or try out to be a part of, niggas. You got to audition, bro. You got to get to a position. We got to stop auditioning for women, telling bitches our 5-year plan on the first fucking date before the appetizers came out. Like it's a fucking interview, my nigga. For a bitch that's texting and taking snaps, other niggas saying, thank you, AV, bye. And she getting her back blown out by another nigga. Stop auditioning for women that you want to work for you. When you are somebody, you go to an interview, guys, you guys dress up, you shave, you put on some nice clothes, you talk the way you don't normally talk, you audition, you try out. So if bitches ain't doing that for you, you got to get your weight up. So go back to the drawing board, get on your fucking purpose. Stop listening to niggas that already got their shit together because they put in the work, nigga. You ain't putting the work. Put in the work, bro. What's the alternative? Playing video games and shit, you know what I'm saying? Just being a statistic. Making other content creators that super chatting content creators and shit, and you ain't doing shit, nigga. Tighten up.
That's all I'm saying. So, because it's we rounding in about 45 minutes, on some real shit. The whole point of just telling women the truth, having your own shit established, you know what I'm saying? Making sure you can fit somebody into your life, or maybe she's a boss in her shit and she come in with a bag and maybe y'all can
That's an
collaborate.
add-on, right?
And then it's an add-on, and that is a very lucrative business relationship. And that's what niggas, you know, always should strive to. And that's what niggas should look for. Cause I tell men all the time, coming up, you know, especially when you don't come from a big city, right? Where you don't have like niggas rolling in. It's not New York or LA, you know, just certain places where you might, you know, see some fly shit, Miami or something.
Right.
Like a lot of my inspiration came from a lot of like the female friends that I have that was getting the bag and seeing them like in fly cities working 2 jobs. That, you know, and respectfully, you know, we always, you know, niggas is just bum ass niggas, and you know, generally,
I hear you.
Chilling, smoking weed, playing video games,
chilling,
you know, chilling, you know, cooling. Women, they really out here getting the bag. So I'm sitting there like, okay, if y'all want to be around the cool, I gotta work, we gotta hustle, because they over here, they in Miami, they in LA with it.
Right.
They fly. So it's like you put yourself in those positions, you go, it's not like you're going after them, but you understand where like certain experiences will happen at, or certain people who are going to stimulate your mind at, you know what I'm saying? Like people who think higher. And once you open your mind and understand that you're not really chasing a lifestyle, you're not even chasing women, you're chasing a better you, because you understand the best experiences come with, like you said, you accomplish something, you're around people who accomplish something, you're around places that not everybody can be at, but you understand you worked hard to just be here in leisure.
Right. Word.
And then you take that back home and you understand, okay, I need to keep my grind, I need to stay on my grind, because all this cool shit around here is all right, all this corner shit is all right. But the more I establish myself and take myself in other places, the more I can experience the different women, the different business opportunities that may be there, the certain business opportunities they may bring me because they linked in with other motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? The buildings I can get in way easier because they cool with the guards, they cool with the owners, whatever, however they got, it don't matter because you cool with them.
Right. Networking. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, man. Don't let these, you know, women are made to be humbled. Don't let anybody tell you to be humble. Don't let anybody to tell you to not be confident, man. You earn this. We got to scratch. We got to grind. We got to hustle. We don't have all the advantages. Don't get mad at women. Just understand the game and play the game. And once you, if you complain, you stay the same. And at the end of the day, man, if you keep grinding and you have a purpose that you created, you should be fine, man. You should be fine. You'll live a life that's fulfilling. But it's always going to be no chill for us, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost 50 years old, nigga. I'm tired as fuck. The shit's changed. But at the end of the day, what I'm going to do, my nigga, I'm going to complain and shit sound goofy and bitter, aggy. Just keep moving. You know what I'm saying? And whoever chews up on me, if she's worth it, cool. But let a bitch choose up on you because you're doing what you say you're doing. Not because you're trying to portray some shit to impress a bitch that you don't even, probably not even going to like after a month. You know what I'm saying?
Also, lastly, too, before we wrap up on this hour, the one of the points that I think is unspoken too, as a man, when you are cool and confident and got your own shit going on, you're not really pressing for women either, is when you can have women friends, you can chill with them, you can actually be around women, because it's like breaking the fourth wall of the game. Because see, a lot of content on the internet likes to talk about dealing with women to sleep with them and this and that. And I understand that, but we need to also break down in that it's okay to have women friends and have groups of women that you're cool with, that, you know, want to hang out with you. You know, they may hit you up, you going out on town, and maybe you and her homegirls, and you cool with a couple of them too. And that can make you look better to women. That can make you look better, you know what I'm saying, in the environment you go in. And even if it's platonic, you understand that if women like to be around you, that is still a testament to your character also, as a man out here. And we just gotta understand, it's cool that you don't have every cool chick you meet. You don't have to hit. You can wait around, meet her friends, form relationships. Okay, she's cool. Okay, now she may be the plug on this business. We're working on, like we talked earlier, this is an ever-changing business of women, technology, science, everything's changing. So, and women are at the forefront of a lot of these things. Yep. Women at
unfortunately,
the so on some real shit. As a man, you need to stop looking at every fly bitch as something to smash, because those may be the girls who in the marketing department. That may be the girl in the social media department. That may be the girl in the AR department. That may be the girl in the executive chef position in other positions that are critical to your advancement. And if you come across as just a real nigga that you are, because you're on your purpose, you understand that you putting purpose over pussy anyways. So you're already coming at her like that, trying to see, you do this, you do that. Oh, I can put you in this. Oh, I know somebody. that dude that you're trying to get with, or I know I can put you in here. And now you may be passing opportunities because, like you said, you're your best self, and it's pouring over in proximity.
Precisely.
So,
Everybody's eating, right?
right. So a lot of the women you meet, you get cool with them, you form business relationships. They can be the ones to plug you in certain places that you're trying to get into. The best relationships, a lot of the time, when you link up in business with men, is when you're introduced through a woman. And
Absolutely.
when you do enough business, you start to understand that when you start getting introduced to certain business partners through like some fly women, like, oh shit, you, oh yeah, and y'all end up chopping up. Now y'all got money on table.
Facts, yo. You speaking facts. See, this is some advanced shit. So, like on the movies, on street niggas will usually, like, if they want to link up with you, they'll take you to the strip club. They'll take you to a spot where they know all these bitches. Why is that? Because the nigga that's inviting you there knows all the bitches and all his friends to get information out of your goofy ass. So there's a lot of advantages. Pimps use bitches to extract information, to get information, so that he has his ear to the street. So there is a lot of value in having associates or friends, if you will, that are females. Number one. Number two, you get to really hear front and center about female nature. Number three, if you meet a woman that she's a baddie and you're not quick to jump on her ass, let the bitch choose you. Most attractive women have niggas hitting on them, but if you're just not, you're a heterosexual man, you're not sweating it because you rather count money or make money than fuck a bitch. That's gonna make you even more attractive. See, women want men that other women want, and men that other men want to be like. So if you know a lot of bitches, oh yeah, that's FBJ, that's AV and shit. Yeah, he cool, dude. He got a lot of bitches and shit. That's only gonna make you more attractive. Remember in high school when you were single, you ain't get no bitches, but as soon as you walking down the hall with a bitch, everybody wants you. It's the same
Every bitch
thing.
now they waking up and professing they love. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Word, because that's that FOMO. That's that FOMO. Now it's like, yo, what's wrong? Yo, what AV got? How did he get this bitch? This is what we saying. So use people, you know what I mean, guys? Have an open mind, man. You can learn from women, you can learn from men. Study people, man. Stop worrying about how female nature is. Focus on human nature, because now you're going to start to see how valuable you actually are in your proximity. You may think that you're the weakest link and shit, and meanwhile and shit, you got the strongest mindset. So being, associates with women, categorizing women as friends, associates, family, etc., is also very important, so you can move accordingly, and that way you can be congruent and be that nigga that you want to be, man. Stop letting society tell us who we supposed to be, man. I know it's hard. We don't own these platforms. We don't own shit, but they can't take our mind unless we let them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's what it is.
Yeah, man. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this show up. But, hey, man, listen, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to drop your last episode link in the
Thank you
YouTube,
very much, man.
So everybody can go ahead and click and subscribe to your YouTube channel.
Thank you so much.
We can collab at any time. This was like a really, really dope episode, especially in the morning.
Word.
Knock this out for my audience to be introduced to you and see what you got going on.
I'm gonna share as well on my page also, FBJ. I appreciate you, my nigga.
And I'm gonna go ahead and send this one to Star too, so he can go ahead.
Oh, thank you, man. Yo, salute to Star, man. Yeah, man. Listen, man, this was an honor. This was an honor, man. Thank you so much, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel at Alpha Villains. Also, guys, check out my book, bro. Masculine Compromise, The Journey of Emasculation to Your Emancipation. It's available on Amazon.com. So it's a light read, but it connects the dots, and it's really much talking about some of the things that we talked about today, FBJ. It was an honor to be here, man. If you need anything from me, please let me know. I appreciate this, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir, man. You guys have a great Friday, man. We're going to holler at y'all.
Keep grinding.
Yes, sir. Peace out, man.
Peace.
Hit you guys at 2 p.m. with another episode. Facts and Facts, man. You guys have a great day.
Let's go. Peace.